Hey there. How y'all doing? Now I'm talking to single moms today. I'm a single mom and I want to talk to single moms because I get this question often. Like, why did you choose to be a single mom living abroad? Well, I'm so glad y'all asked. Listen, this is the thing. I don't think I chose to be a single I don't think I chose to be a single mom living abroad. I just think that that's how the world and the life balanced out for me. Um, the truth of the matter is that I choose to live abroad with my child for several reasons, which I'm going to get into. So this video, it found you if you are a single mom, know a single mom, or if you are considering living abroad. And you don't even have to be a single mom. But specifically for those who are teetering like, hey, I really want to go live abroad with my child or my children, and I really don't know how to do it because I'm a single mom. Listen, today we're going to get rid of all the excuses because, baby, you don't have to have an excuse for something that you desire to do. If it's in your heart and you're led to do it, follow your heart. Damn, it's that easy. It is. It really is that easy. And I'm going to tell you my story, my experience, and why I chose to raise my child abroad. But let's just start here because this is the God honest truth that I try to do truthfulness, right? So, honestly, I didn't choose to go live abroad for my son, I chose it for me because I wanted a softer life, because I was tired of being exhausted. I was a stay-at-home mom in the US. I was in a whole relationship. My child, we kind of did the same thing over and over every day. Go outside, play, come back in. But he was 15 months. So I have been living abroad since 2021. This is my second time living abroad. The first time I was single, fancy free, and didn't have a child. But the second time I moved abroad, I moved to Mexico, and my son was 15 months old. And to be truthful, I didn't pack my bags and sign up. I got all kinds of stuff on my phone. She can't see, but I did not pack my bags and move abroad because I was doing it for my son initially, right? Initially, I was in a badass relationship with an individual who didn't want to grow up. And we was on two different pages. And I thought if I moved to Mexico, that it would give him the opportunity and the space to see. Number one, I was truthful about it. Like, this is what and look, I need the space because this ain't working out for me. And maybe you'll have the time and distance will give you the fortitude to really step up. But that didn't happen. It actually drove us apart. He came to Mexico, we visited. um it just wasn't in the cards. But so originally my move was about me. It was about the fact that I needed to have a softer life, that I needed some reprieve. Now that could have went left, right? Because I was moving abroad. I knew a couple people, but I didn't have like a set. Actually, I kind of did walk into a set community, tribe of my people, but I didn't even think about that far. I didn't even think about that far. I did not even think that far ahead about what I was gonna need. I just knew I needed to breathe. And I know you need to put your own face mask on before you out here trying to save anybody else. And so I was putting my face mask on, and I was carving out a place for myself. Now with that, once I got to a safe place where I felt good with who I am and what I was doing, and I started doing the spiritual work and healing myself and overcoming like all the things I had told myself, because I was a badass. Like literally, I had already lived abroad. I lived abroad for 3.5 years in South Korea. I had went to grad school to do intercultural communications and the stuff I do right now. And I knew I was definite about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. I had already owned a business. All these things were already there. Then I had this child, and then I was in this relationship, and then I found myself like, this is a no-go. But let me say this for anybody who is in a situation or just tired, you dealing with the chaos of America, and you're like, listen, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and check out. Let me offer you this. It can be the very best decision that you ever make. Now, yes, I'm a single mom. I'm not painting no pictures, trying to make it seem like it is all fairy tales and, fairies around this joint. Because it's not. There's days where I'm 24/7, 365, all day, every day. He's 5 years old. He's homeschooled. All the things. Like, he is attached to my hip. The only reason you don't see him right now is because he's in front of a television where he and all the toys. So the thing I'm trying to get at is that you have to put yourself first. That's number one. What do you desire to do? There's going to be so many people that tell you, listen, you going to live abroad, that's selfish. If you have a partner or their father that's actively in their life, look at all the things that you're going to be taking them away from. Look at, all the relationships that's going to be severed. Baby, if relationships are severed, then they ain't together anyways. Because if you sever a relationship with me because I'm living my best life, how dare you? Like, peace. I throw deuces to everybody that if you not with me, then you not for me, right? So it's difficult, and I to be honest, I guilted myself for a couple years where I just was like, and then his father didn't make it better because it was like, you're taking him from me and I can't be in his life. And there's so many Black men that would love to be in this situation. And they, so many Black women would love to have, a man that's in all the things, right? I heard all of them. But baby, at the end of the day, it came down to my peace, my happiness. Now, there are some other reasons that I continue this journey with my child. One being because he is a brown or Black boy, and I didn't want him to grow up in America. So he's been gone since 15 months. He don't really know anything about America. He knows where it is. He knows that, I go there often, but that's, I don't live there. And so for me, it was important because when I was pregnant, I cried for 8 hours when I realized I was having a son. Not because I don't like boys, none of that, but because I just could not imagine the weight of the world and the responsibility of trying to rear a son, a Black son, in America. It was shootings every other day, little black and brown boys getting killed. Oh no, baby, I didn't want to go through that. And so I remember distinctively the day it popped up on my computer, because first of all, I wasn't even supposed to pop up, but then it was like, boy, and then shot all this confetti stuff on my damn computer. And I went to boohoo crying 8 whole entire hours. And it didn't sit well with me. So with that being said, no, I don't want to be responsible for my baby being in environments, active shooters. The fuck is an active shooter? Like, we don't know nothing about that over here. We not doing that. We not. We free. So here's some things that have continued my processing on this subject matter. Exposure. I want him to be exposed. I want him to be worldly. I want him to know that there are differences in people, but yet we're all the same. I want him to be able to see different cultures, experience different languages, have chances to eat different food. America, yes, it's the melting pot, has all these different things, but it's a whole lot of things that come with that, right? I wanted him to know what freedom felt like. At any point, he can choose go back, right? I could choose to go back. I could be forced back, whatever the situation may be. But for an extended amount of time, he knew what he knows. He knows what freedom is. He knows what no bounds are, right? He wakes up with freedom. That is in his blood. It's in his DNA at this point. Like, I'm free. I'm not bound. Like, my mama ain't bound. He don't see me go to no job. He knows that I'm working, and he just knows what it is to be free. My son is a Leo, so I think he's just gonna know what freedom is anyways, because that's their thing. They feel like they run everything. But the joy, the peace, I don't have to explain certain things at this stage. I can just let him be. Like, I remember when we lived in Mexico, he would like come down the steps. He was like 2 at the time. He came down the steps. He had a trampoline that was outside. He would open up the doors. He would go jump on the trampoline and until he didn't want to anymore. Then he would come in, and then he had a pool outside. He would go swimming. He just was free. And there are a lot of constraints because of the day and time we're living in, and children getting snatched and all that. But in his world, oftentimes he's in a controlled environment where just go be free. And so that's important. I want him to know that he's different. I want him to know that whatever room he walks into, yes, I'm different. I can see that I'm different, but I don't want him to feel different. And that's the beauty of being able to grow up the way he's growing up. That he feels like the playing field is very even. And actually he has an advantage because the Leo in him just, I don't care what you just said. My confidence level is on the roof and whatever. And mommy, let's go. Let's do this. He has a globe. He's always talking about, well, in China, they do da 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 da. In Malaysia, they have the biggest flower. In Indonesia, did you know da 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 da? He's the one that told me, as I was under the impression that we have, 7 continents, and Australia was one of them. Not according to my son. My son's like, nope, Oceania is the 7th continent. You should get your life together because, mommy, you don't know. so all of that comes from the exposure of him just being able to travel. But more importantly, it gives me the ability to slow down, me to be present, me to be available. We travel. He's gonna experience his 12th country next week. Just the ability to be and no bounds, like for real. But it also helps me to be intentional about how I want to show up, which gives him the privilege, the ability, and just the right to be intentional about what he wants to do and not have to worry about, am I going to get shot? Not having to worry about what other people's expectations are, not worrying about, all the foolishness that goes on television, because that's not in our house. We don't experience that. And not that my heart doesn't go out to anybody who is, but I had the choice and I made it. And I say, and this is my slogan, freedom ain't free. Like, freedom is not free. It costs you something. Baby, if you're going to play this game, especially this international game, it's going to cost you a whole hell of a lot. It may cost you your friends. It may cost you your family. I have lost both. it will cost you time, energy, and fortitude in many cases. But at the end of the day, I will pay that price. I'll pay the price. I'll pay the ticket price for freedom before I stay in bondage and in hell and doing what other people expect me to do. Because I had a choice when I came into this world of how my life was going to play out. And I decided I would be the conductor. Okay? I don't ride in seats. I'm driving this bitch. I really am. And so at the end of the day, if you are a single mom and you are at this place where you found this video and you're like, yo, I really want to do this, but I don't know how. Well, guess what? You came to the right place. I've been doing this for 15 years. I am a certified expat coach, and my master's degree is in intercultural communication. And this is what I do for a living. Have been doing this for 15 years. I've trained in Fortune 500 companies to help people move abroad. But more importantly, I'm also a certified life coach, and my special and expertise is in transformational coaching. And so I want people to understand, especially I'm talking to you. If you if you found this video, I'm talking to you to let you know that it's doable with a plan, right? I moved abroad in 2 months. I had already lived abroad and I already do this work, so it made it a lot easier. But if I can do it, you can do it. It's just about putting something in place. My child isn't just growing up abroad. He's thriving abroad. He's not just having an experience and traveling and doing all these things. He is literally reshaping and cultivating his whole entire being so that he knows culture, so that he understands diversity in real life, and he remains curious. And if you want that for your children or your child, come on, do it. And if it's a desire of yours and it's calling you, you need to answer that call. So there's several ways you can do it. I have a book called You Too Can Live Abroad. You can start there. I think $7.95. It goes over, I actually wrote this like 8 years ago. It goes over everything that you need to know about actually going and living abroad. I have some checklists that are free.
Yeah.
Say goodbye.
No.
Say bye. This is real life.
Yes.
Anyhow, but yeah, choose you. Start there first. It's not really about raising your children abroad. If you're unhappy, if you're not living your best life, then it's going to be very difficult to even think about what their needs and wants are going to be. And I once heard this podcast, and a doctor said that if you have a happy mother, you'll have happy children.
Yeah.
Happy mother, happy child. High five.
Yes.
See? What else can I say? But I just want to leave you with that. And choose you. And everything else will fall in place. So until next time, remember to always find your flow, follow your freedom, and drift deep. I'm Cha. So yeah, I hope that helped you all solidify whether or not you could do it and a reason for why you should. So thank you for sitting with me today. If this spoke to you, please drop me a comment, share your thoughts, your fears, and your dreams of living abroad.
Yep.
Let's build a community together. And until next time, find your flow, follow your freedom, and drift deep.
Okay, bye-bye.